We know Lotus and Hawthorne are 1 and 2, but with Clockwork falling down a peg, this is a window for Zenigma. They see the opportunity. They want to secure the number 3 seed because they want to avoid the number 1 seed in Lotus White, knowing that they'd rather face Hawthorne. But hey, it's all about positioning right now. Both of these teams need the playoff positioning. They need these wins. The Degenerates need it worse just to make it into the playoffs. But Zenigma, they're playing for something right now too. So I mean, I see
Fair
the
point.
passion, I see the heart
It's
from both
third.
teams. Yeah,
Big seed still there. It's definitely a tougher matchup for them as they go into this next week. But Dunsey, all of that aside, we've got a draft here, and I'll
we
be
do.
honest, it doesn't look that much different from what we saw in game 2. That yet, yeah. If the Gwen comes out again, then it's nearly identical. I mean,
Okay,
it's
so
identical.
they do ban the Gwen here for Zenigma.
Gwen's
There's not
down,
going to
and
be a.
Ezreal is banned out this time around, though.
That's right. So there's no B1
No
B1
B1.
Gwen. And instead of banning the Kai'Sa, Degenerates actually decide to secure that for themselves. No longer a Jhin player. They're putting Bixis on the Kai'Sa. They say, okay, we're giving you a flashy 80 carry that can do a ton of damage in these team fights. You have some mobility. You're up against a decent 80 carry yourself in Tonic who showed up in game 1 on Tristana. So he's going back to that. His Ezreal looked really good. But he's going back to the Tristana, comfort pick for Tonic, and it's going to be another Jin Zhao in the jungle for Jaredon.
Honestly, it's looked and worked very well for Jaredon thus far. I mean, game 1 aside, his Xin was still a prevalent entity that added to the force of the squad, and we saw, of course, in the game 2 that actually transitioned into what was something of an aggressive start, right? So personally, I think that works well. Degenerates returning back to the Shen, though, I'm actually a lot more happy regarding that because I think the Shen gave the safety that they needed to put people like Bixis on the pedestal that would, actually help them perform, per se.
Yeah, and Hajime has been kind of a carry player through the first half of the split, but
Right.
Degenerates were in a funk. They didn't find the wins, and now they have Big Sis back. Big Sis is back, baby. We keep saying the slogan. And so he says, okay, I'll play for bot lane. It worked in game 1. We're going to turn the tides. We're going to use the Stand United and make sure that we have numbers in the bot side. Now, Jaredon, I kind of said that he would be scared to go 3v3 bot lane. Now it's legitimate. There's a Shen on the map. At level 6, you have to be extremely careful. On the flip side, that Akali popped off, and here it is again.
Yeah, the Akali, I think, is strong enough to give them the supportive engage that they've actually been missing out on here. This entire comp and roster, they needed a little bit more pressure in that mid lane. The Azir was not cutting it. It's a little bit too slow on the pacing. The Akali, though, so much better.
I absolutely have loved watching Warboss here on the Akali. His synergy with Jaredon on this duo, this exact duo that they ran in game 2, was perfect, right? They were playing the team fights kind of in tandem and diving together, and they were able to maneuver around the map as a duo, and it really, really worked out for them.
Now, the Nocturne pick, I'm a little suspicious. Personally, I think it has great presence in terms of the paranoia. But it's not akin to the Lee Sin that we've been seeing here from Akira, actually. And I honestly don't think the Lee Sin has been bad, and its early presence has been setting up people like Bixis.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, just to cut in real quick, Cape Dogs have secured game 3. Divine Ascension have apparently FF'd the third game, so that's going to be it. Cape Dogs are they are now sitting at 13 and 10. They take a 3-0 tonight, so that's kind of tough.
Run that one back against me real quick. I might have missed it.
Divine Ascension just forfeited their third game. So
that's a pretty big deal here for Degenerates because if you've been keeping tabs, Degenerates only have to worry about 3 teams, and if Divine's surrendering, I mean, that's a pretty big deal.
And check it out. Clockwork
I'm checking
Clockwork are about to get 3-0'd. Cape Dogs have the series win and the tiebreaker over Clockwork. But we're talking about these other teams, these other standings. We got a Bard. This is the first time I'm seeing Bard in Light League. Here it is on Darth Kylo Ryan and a LeBlanc, man. Oh, man, this is pretty cool. We get to see some really crazy explosive burst mages coming out. You have the Nocturne jungle, you have the LeBlanc. This is cool.
I am actually surprised that they're deciding to take it as aggressive as they are here on Degenerates. Different from the early presence that we've seen. But hey, man, explosive is explosive. I mean,
Yeah,
if it works, it works, man. I'm
and
not going to put it against them.
I've seen this matchup for LeBlanc into Akali. I know that it's actually a decent pick. I've watched Faker play this matchup actually on his stream. You typically double. You're gonna mimic your chains. Okay, I know it's Faker, whatever. But I'm just saying that
Yo, man, I
possibly
just want to let you know that I've seen Faker play this one,
that's
so
right.
I've got it in the bag in terms of ideas.
Possibly that Crimvale is Faker. So he's gonna play the LeBlanc here. He's gonna try to chain the Akali so that whenever she goes into her shroud, it's following her, it's gonna CC her, and then you double chain actually, and you're gonna apply it a second stack. And that's how the LeBlanc plays the lane. We'll see if Crimvale's comfortable with that into the Akali, but it's supposedly, a decent counter matchup there. So I'm excited for that, but I'm more excited for Darth Claw Ryan on Bard.
You know what I'm
That's
excited for?
what.
You know, I've been having the worst day, Dunsey. I've been
Uh-huh.
to the pool today. I've been tired, and
Sounds awful.
personally, yeah, it's been exhausting.
Yeah.
And you know what really peaks and gets me up when I'm exhausted, Dunsey?
What's that? Is it? Oh, I know. Oh,
You know,
is it AM grind coffee?
it might just happen to be AM grind coffee. If you're looking for a little boost to your mood, go ahead. Type in exclamation point AM grind into chat.
I feel better already just talking about it.
You feel better?
I
I
do.
feel fantastic.
Do they sell lemon juice?
I will admit no lemon juice. My
Okay.
apologies.
Unfortunate, but they do sell great coffee. Make sure you check that out in the chat. I know Shellatron, our very own, is just such an advocate. Like the
There
dude
you
loves
go.
coffee, and specifically AM grind coffee. Always on the grind. Shells over
He's
there.
always on the grind, always on the
Yeah.
grind. But back to the game. We've discussed marquee matchups all night long, and I want to hear yours tonight as well. Where are we at?
Okay. We've talked about Big Sis. We've talked about
Talked about
Hajime.
Bizzix. We talked about Hajime. We got Akira. Now Zenigma's coming out to play.
Yeah.
And what else?
I'm going into the mid lane this time. Warboss Justin showed up in game 2. He had an amazing Akali game and he shut down the Diana. They ganked him early. They got the first blood. Zenjaredon duoed up and paired up with him quickly. Now Crimvale has an opportunity to counterpick and have a nice duo lane of himself. They're going to be able to find this jungle, this 2v2 in the mid jungle for Katakiri and Crim. I'm watching the LeBlanc Akali. I want to see these two mid laners battle it out.
Okay. I've been impressed by Warboss Justin in the past. I will particularly go out on a limb here and say I feel like he's a little bit more of a 50-50. But hey, man, it's a 50-50 that played well in game 2 and it actually made for the success that we were waiting for.
Mm-hmm. So they need more than a 50-50 right now. They absolutely need this win. I mean, we'll see if they can pull it off. I think they have the tools. Look at the global range that Degenerates have, and like we said, and even the mobility of LeBlanc, right? Just to come down and support the Big Sis. Every single champion on the side of Degenerates has some form of mobility. Even the Bard has the tunnel to move around, and I think that kind of ability to navigate the map is going to really help Degenerates out here and make sure that they can get to the fights. It's a callback, right, to the Garen dive in the top lane. And we saw Degenerates kind of do what Zenigma did in game 1 and over chase, and they were extremely punished. They dove Winterfrush on this massive Garen, and that was the turning of the tides team fight where they kind of just lost control of the map. Now they have a lot more agency. They don't have to face this massive tank in the top lane again. And so they'll hopefully be able to find some more opportunistic fights.
I think decision making is going to be a big one here. All right, because everything you just said plays off of some of the poor decisions that we came and saw of Degenerates. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I honestly think skill based across. I think, my apologies, Degenerates have it in the bag. They can win the lane-to-lane matchup. It's when they choose to push those forward and look for something a little bit more that it gets a bit tedious.
Yeah, I don't see any sort of tedious lanes here. I think that we're going to see fireworks early, and often.
Well, hey, the
And
lane to lane, good for me. I'm just saying, if you go for the hard dive, what can I do?
yeah, it's tough. I just got a DM from
I
Kyle
I
Bixis
I
himself.
will. Okay, okay.
He
Actually, that's very
says
important. He's the G, the main G.
he is lobbying for an 18 playoff so that we can get Degenerates in here.
I'm sorry, he's lobbying for a what?
An 18 playoffs to expand to 8 instead of 6. Which, I mean,
You know what?
I would love to. I would
He's
love to see
convinced.
Degenerates.
Tonight has convinced me personally.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. You know what? Yeah, I was not on the uphill grind with these guys, but you know
Yeah.
what? Personally, after thinking about it, I may want a little bit of that taste of the degenerate grind in my
Yeah.
mornings, just like AM coffee.
I mean, the fact that they can take a game off of Zenigma, like in 4v5 fashion in game 1, like that just shows that this league is so competitive. Even Divine Ascension, who though they dropped 0-3 to Cape Dogs tonight, they took them to 52 minutes. And Cape Dogs took Lotus White 2-1. So like you just have so much parity in this league. Like you think Hawthorne's the best. I think Lotus White is the best, but both those teams are fallible and they're losing. Hawthorne right now are having trouble closing it out against CB Clockwork. So we'll see. Like this league is just intense.
That's fair. But you know what, Dunzy? We definitely have more to talk about these two teams. Take me through. I know we discussed it a lot, but personally, compared to game 1, where do you see this Tristana lining up here?
Yeah, they have a lot more CC this time around. So they had the Lulu paired with the Tristana in game 1. Now Tonic has an engage support, which is Bard's hardest stylistic counter. Typically, Bards love playing against enchanters, and perhaps he was thinking Fifi would play one of those roles again, just like he did in games 1 and 2. Nope, you're gonna hard engage against the Bard, so it's tougher. If Tristana, if Tonic and Fifi can find engages, especially if Jaredon is there, they will blow up whoever the target is. Both Kaisa and Bard being so squishy, maintaining the CC lock and the burst from Tristana, it can be massive. Now, at 6, it turns around. You have so much stall with a Bard ultimate. I think you just go on the Nautilus because Tristana is difficult to catch. But it's fun because if she does buffer the rocket jump and she gets caught in the Bard ultimate, it actually like stops her there. And so it kind of negates part of her escape mechanism. So at 6, I think it will turn towards the Degenerates, but Zenigma are going to bring the aggression early. And if they can get a few kills, even just 1, they can start to roll.
I honestly can agree with that one. That's a good start. I think Bixis has a little bit more to play up against that. He's definitely looking for the future of this match rather than the kind of tempoed pace that we saw early. Hopefully that plays well, but Degenerates have not been known for their late game prowess, being able to carry on that mid game into a strong suit. So a lot to hope in that regard. But that being said, this is our third and final match of the night, and it's definitely a deciding factor here for either of these teams where they end up seeding wise. We're going to go to a short break, and when we come back, you'll be joined by Sulpan and Shellatron on the Rift. Stick around.
And we're back here onto the Rift. Which one of these junglers wants to complete their redemption arc? Game 1, it was Akita Akira disconnecting yet winning despite that thanks to some early game lead creation. Game 2, Zen Jaredon on the insane engagements. As we come into Game 3, who wants it more? And right now, it's another stinky cheese from Degenerates.
These Degenerates are putting out the cheese once more. 5 players inside this brush, just outside the red buff. They exit stage right, but once again, there might be a little too late.
Zenjardon in trouble here, gets taunted up, and it's just too little too late. Kita Akira picking up first blood, making a strong case for their arc here in this series. Have to see what they end up going for. But actually not going to go for the back here. I believe they had time if they had backed immediately after that first blood. We're not going to find anything off the back of it immediately, but that'll help this Nocturne. 1 kill means a little bit more experience. Getting closer and closer to that key level 6 will just be so important here for this dive composition. Get the Stadium United on top of a Paranoia. Be so dangerous for any backline members here on the side of Zenigma.
Yeah, you get a Nocturne ahead. It is so tough. He's already a fast clearer, has the a very strong ability to go ahead and find himself some good movement speed as well. I think he started off with the Fear level 1, which is going to be fine. Got a very hefty leash from his bot lane, going straight from his red buff to the opposite side of the map to his blue side camps. Going to make a move potentially onto the Wukong. Not sure how that's going to work with a Shin right beside him, but there should be a lot of good lockdown potential there for both Kita Akira and Hajime no Gildo. But this is a very unfortunate beginning for the side of Zenigma Eclipse. Ooh, the flash.
Forcing the flash early.
Oh.
That's LeBlanc for you. She lands those chains level 2. What are you supposed to do other than just get on out of there? But Zen Jaredon, level 2, looking towards his bot lane. As the bot lane also hits level 2, Bixis and Dark Caliban are in trouble. Tries to land the stun, but will not find anything. Bixis dropping the heal already. Dark Caliban surely to fall. Will drop. Does not burn summoners though. And that'll be important coming up into the next part of this engagement.
I think Dark Kylo Ryan said it best when he died. Ooh, the bard just has sad noises, and you feel very sad for this team right here. Both the heal and flash were burned by Bixis. Akira.
Yeah, and Danger and Midlane here for each of these teams. Winterfresh in trouble. Akira will land the flash. Not going to get the fear though, and the taunt will be good enough for the kill. Kita Akira picks up 2 kills for themselves, and with a failed gank in mid lane. Zen Jaredon falling further and further behind. Only level 2 here on the Zinzao, and has to find something. As War Boss Justin going to probably be forced to TP back to lane here for this wave.
Yeah, he definitely will have to go ahead and use the TP to catch this wave right here. And this is a good guy, Hajime no Gildo on the top lane. Could have secured the kill for himself onto Winterfresh on this Wukong, but says it's a little bit better if this gold goes on the Nocturne, not a Shin. I'm going to be building tanky regardless. It is what it is. But you get Kita Akira 700 gold and kills to start the game off. He can go back for his first back and be very strong. I mean, into Zen Jaredon right now, he's going to have a very fun time on this Nocturne.
Not sure if I agree with the call from Zen Jaredon here. You're level 3, you got 12 CS, you haven't secured a Scuttle Crab yet. Go and get yourself some farm. Every second you waste is this Nocturne just farming up in his own jungle, getting further and further ahead. Now actually just going to come in mid lane and just mooch some mid lane EXP. Gotta feel bad for War Boss Justin here, as you'll lose out on some CS and EXP in this lane against LeBlanc. A little weird. I'm not sure about that play as he moves on finally down towards the Scuttle. Will eventually pick that up. But again, I think it's just Kita Akira playing the map a little bit better this game so far, as he finds a gank and first blood in this game.
So, but I gotta go ahead and question you real quick. What Zen Jaredon's doing is very similar to what you see, and I'll bring it up again. A lot of these animes, you had to start off the fight with the ankle weights, and then you take them off. You have to give yourself a way to make the game a little harder for yourself. You got to make the game interesting. So Zen Jaredon takes not quite great pathing, goes for some ganks that fail, and then sits in the mid lane AFK for really no reason at all. He's setting up the stage for a very big comeback in the mid game here. He wants to tell his kids when he grows up, you know, in game 3 versus Degenerates Ascension, I started the game off so poorly, but we came back and made it work. This is going to be a story for the ages for Zen Jaredon. I am very excited to see it.
I'll have to wait and see as moving back towards his own jungle, finally picking up some farm for himself. Kida Akira also doing the same, just looking to push faster and faster towards that level 6. Dragon on the map, and not really, I'd say, either of these teams in a position to contest for it just yet. Bottom lane getting shoved in, junglers on the wrong side of the map. There's just not really much plays to be made here for either of these teams, as I think with Kida Akira kind of setting the tempo, able to decide open, but potential engagement here in top lane. Winterfresh going to get knocked super low here against the Shen, getting bullied out a little bit by this swordsman. He's going to flash forward looking for the kills. Well, auto a minion, but he'll still find the kill. Hajima no Gido finds a solo kill onto Wukong. Redemption in the game here for the Shen into Wukong matchup. Making this monkey look balanced here so far in the series.
Making the monkey look balanced, or potentially making Winterfresh look like a player who might need Garen to look very good in this matchup. Oh, that's an ignite.
A kill. Crimval, it's level 6. Warboss Justin not respecting the LeBlanc damage, and the ignite will just get dropped there in mid lane. Solo kills across the board here for Degenerates. This is exactly what led them to win game 1, 4 versus 5. And if you're Zenigma, you gotta be feeling the heat right now. You gotta do something to come back in this game.
And it's not just about your seeding in the playoffs. You're basically, I think, locked into playoffs. I don't think Zenigma can actually fall to 7th right now, but seeding does matter. And honestly, pride and just momentum moving into playoffs does matter. You don't want to be the 3rd place team losing to the 9th place team in the league. That does a lot to your psyche. That does a lot to your mental. I saw Hawthorne Esports lose to Classic Esports. Wasn't very good.
Hajime get in a little bit of trouble. Manages to land the 2-man taunt on the way out. Winterfresh burned Cyclone there, and he's already feeling really good here in top lane with that ultimate gank setup. Now down for Winterfresh for at least a minute and a half here.
Yeah, no Cyclone for this monkey, but there is still a very strong CS lead. He is pushing the wave right now. And as we do stand at about the time the Herald should be coming up, maybe 30 seconds time, we do see that if we do click over to the individual gold, there's not really that big of a difference in gold in the top lane. But if we look at our junglers here, already about 1,000 gold difference. That is very, very big at this early in the game for junglers to be 1,000 gold up.
Ooh, nice. Dark Twilight Ryan in a little bit of trouble. He's just going to land some damage back. Throwing out the meeps. Fifi, do you love me? Taking a little bit of harassment, but otherwise, I mean, mostly fine here in this bot lane. Crimevale landing those chains, but a good trap from Warboss Justin will nullify most of that trade. So now heals back up thanks to the fleet footwork here on these minions.
Yeah, that kind of safety you get both in the sustainability and in the movement speed that Fleet Footwork does give you. Warboss Justin will feel a little bit better into this matchup now. Has he already gotten solo killed by this LeBlanc? Of course, but that was more due to disrespect than actually being outplayed. You got to understand just how much mobility this LeBlanc has. You're playing a Kali, so you understand how to abuse mobility as a champion in the mid lane. But I think Warboss Justin will have to have a pretty good time as we do move forward into this matchup. We saw him play a Kali very well in the last game. Just gotta respect Crimvale a little bit more here.
Yep, even just so much damage being thrown out here in the mid lane from Crimvale, constantly forcing back this Akali. Well, he's not being so far able to create the CS lead. Oh, Zen in trouble here in his own jungle, just getting tagged up at the red buff. They want to steal this one away from him and find the kill. Smite will go down, but it's not going to be to kill it just yet. Flashing over the wall will keep him alive. And Kida, no, you don't have vision. They don't care. Not going to feel the effects of the paranoia as someone takes on down, but the fight continues. Warboss Justin wandered alone into the jungle and finds 3 members of Degenerates Ascension waiting for him. He'll get picked up, burns the flash in the process, and this Akali not looking the same as she did last game.
Yeah, that was Warboss Justin making the call, saying, hey, I see them all. They're all going into our jungle. His whole team saying, okay, cool, don't go. But hold up.
Big hook here as a depth charge comes through on the big sis. Has been flashed out, so should be just fine here in this trade. We'll pick up the health shrine from Dark Skylar Ryan as well to regain some of that health back in that trade. Ignite burn, depth charge burned as well. Not a lot of options now to try and complete this kill here in bot lane. Do still have Tonic on the jump forward Buster Shot insect combo. Could see that one come through, but I can't imagine they're going to get too aggressive here in this bottom lane.
You know what I'm thinking? This Enigma team in Game 3 does not look anything like how they played in games 1 or 2, even the game they lost. So I'm wondering if there's a matchup they specifically want to get. Are they trying to lose this third place spot right here? Do they want the 4th seed going into the playoffs? Do they want the 5th? Is there someone they're trying to avoid by playing like this in Game 3? This is not the way that Warboss system played. This is not the way that Winterfresh was playing on that Garen. Zenigma looked a lot better. Now he's getting gapped by Kita Akira, who played best in a game where he didn't play at all. And then Game 2, where, I mean, honestly, it wasn't looking too good for him in that game either. I'm just a little bit confused as to, are we seeing the same Zenigma, or are we seeing some sandbags right here in game number 3?
Maybe a tough call here is Warboss Justin 2 levels down now on this mid lane LeBlanc. Super tough for him to come back, as Kimberval might just predict this. Yeah, gotta look for the trade over the wall. We'll find the binding as well. Not gonna get the second take on that one, so not too bad of a trade here for Warboss Justin in the middle lane. But again, just taking more and more damage, getting poked out of the lane, not able to secure Scuttle Crab. Now the gank setup here in the bottom lane, Paranoia available. Will Kita Akira be able to find this one? Death Color Ryan might be able to set this one up with that Temporal Fate if he can land on one of these targets. Could also look for the dive with that ability, as so good at just setting it up, locking down towers and locking down champions. But ultimately, they're just going to walk away from this one, not liking how this gank setup looked. It'll be a Scuttle Crab play here for the Nocturne.
It'll be a Scuttle Crab play here, as he does go ahead and get that vision secured for the squad. Yep, there it is. And the Dragon's going to be spawning on the map post haste, as his Herald's going to go ahead and take some pretty good damage onto this turret.
My god, Warboss Justin just gets chunked out, and that will give you vision. Drops the ignite for the Paranoia. Kita Akira should be fine here, as he's got the fear. Needs to just dodge out on this.
No way.
It's not even going to be necessary. It lands on a Zenigma. Now they're looking for the burst. Miriam Evil looking for the damage, but the Stand United also comes through. There will be no kills had. Everyone coming together. It's the power of friendship in the bottom side jungle for Degenerates, as they now look to Goon Squad on towards this bottom lane.
Did you see how Bixis just zoomed through and got into the fray there? That was enemy AC 130 above, the way he just shows up out of nowhere and helps complete the play. Gets Zenigma on up out of there. That's his second death of the game. He's now down about 25 CS in the jungle. And at this point, going into a 3-0-2 Nocturne, who has already just picked up that stride breaker. At this point, you're not having a very fun time at all if you are Zenigma Eclipse, or maybe you're having very much fun because you're trying to avoid a certain matchup. I'm not quite so sure if that's the case, but they're playing so differently than I've seen them play before. This is not our third place team in my Excellency Light League, sponsored in part by AM Grind Coffee. This is the way they usually play.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say. I think it really was off the back of a tough start, but hang on, we got a trade here from Crime Evil looking for the kill on the Warboss. Justin knows exactly where he is thanks to that snare, but can he find the kill? Yes, the Sigil of Malice will drop the Akali in millions. It's another solo kill. 6 stacks on this Dark, so you gotta imagine he's looking for a Medjay. He's finding kill after kill for himself. As now we got a trade in the top lane. Hajime Nagita should be able to win out on this trade. Now dropping the zone. Winterfresh not wanting any more of this trade, trying to disengage. We'll look for the dire spot, but he fails it! Winterfresh, no! What are you doing? Kita Akira gonna steal the kill off the back of that. But man, oh man, does that feel bad. As he tries on the flash, not able to find it. Zenigma now looking for the Bard here in the jungle, trying to get the 3-talon strike. Not gonna land it, so no knock to be had. But these plates are threatened. Zenigma on the zoning play here for this bottom lane, as they might just pick up the... Oh, no, it's actually Burst Tower going over to mid lane, so not even gonna get that. They're just struggling to find anything here against the solo laners of Degenerates.
You know, Soapin, I'm so glad we aren't a league that has... Hold up. Well, never mind.
Oh, 3 talents. The Crescent Guard going to keep him alive for now, but Zenigma's in trouble. So much ability on this Blanc. She's got the zone. She's just going to go for it. No, she's actually looking for the Akali now as Paranoia gets popped. Looking for the Akali here. No shot available. It's flashes everywhere. Crime Evil going to be on the other side of the wall, making sure they can avoid the melee from Warboss Justin. As now the Temporal Fate going to come through. Tries to dash back to dodge it out, but that's the wrong direction. You're going straight into Champions. Caught between a rock and a hard place. Akali falls once again. 8 stacks on the Dark Seal. Crime Vol is feeling himself this game.
Yeah, like I was saying, Soapin, I'm just so glad we're not a league that shows caster cams during the game, because my face right now is the face you make when you take 12 shots of lemon juice because you aren't very knowledgeable on what the lore is of this game. I have just a lemon juice face right now watching Zenigma step into so many situations where it's like, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? Who told you to do it? And when did they tell you to make that move? I have questions, and I'm not quite so sure I'm going to be getting those answers anytime soon. Yes, the gold lead is only 3K. We're at the 15-minute mark. But at this point, I mean, 4-0-3 on the Nocturne, 4-0-3 on the LeBlanc, getting solo kills whenever she so pleases. I mean, I'm not really all too sure that I see Zenigma making a move that even resembles pretending that you're going to get back into this game.
Yeah, and man, it's just tough here for this team. I mean, there's just so much going well here on the side of Degenerates. This composition's easy to execute. You just constantly dive forward with this LeBlanc Killer Instinct, Paranoia, Stand United combo. Bard also able to really easily set up or follow up on any of these engagements. This is a win more composition, and I'm just not sure if Zenigma has what it takes to fight back against this. There's a fun little thing I do in solo queue where if I ever pop off on a champion, which is rare, I can't play that champion a second game in a row because I'll feel like I'm still fed because I'm still playing the same kit, that I'll just constantly int forward trying to take fights that I absolutely cannot take. And I can't help but wonder if that's how Zen, Jeroboam, and Warboss Justin to feel this game. As Zen, Jeroboam now caught out here by the LeBlanc. Crime again so far ahead, forces out the Crescent Guard as we're now looking at Rift Herald. You gotta think this pickup's gonna be going pretty easily uncontested over here to this team. Don't even need Crimevel on the damage. He's just gonna be happy to zone out the entire team of Zenigma as we pick up the objective and move forward towards this top tower tier 1.
You know, now that I think about it a little bit more, maybe it's not that Zenigma is playing poorly because they are trying to avoid someone in the playoff race or trying to look for a better matchup for themselves. Maybe they're spending so much of this time really contemplating the ramifications of us never going to that metric system. I think it might have been what I said in game number 1. Maybe the Imperial unit of measurement has got them in their feelings right now as Crimevel just does what he does, which is get solo kills. I mean, you're Tristana, you're gonna go bye-bye. I really do think that it's our unit of measurements that are really keeping us from looking at Zenigma actually look like a third-place team in our league here.
You and your numbers and your measurements. I see a measurement here in this game, and it's that Zenigma has been tried, and they have been found wanting here in this matchup. Degenerates just so strong on the map, taking out this tier 1. There is a split push happening on the bottom side of the map, but I really feel that if anyone shows up, Warboss Justin's going to get forced out of this lane. Dragon on the map as well, but Degenerates just don't care. They want to continue to push forward this gold lead. They want to continue to push their advantage in the game. They don't really need the Cloud Soul to close out this game. They're just going to find another tower here in the top lane, reset. They got gold in their pockets, and they got the game win on their minds.
Yeah, Degenerates can go ahead and reset right now, like you just said, and there's not really a threat of Zenigma making moves onto that dragon. They're about 3 to 4 kilometers away. What's that in miles open? You don't know, but I know what it is in kilometers. But there's no real shot at them getting onto the objective. Can Zen Jerodon make a move to try to steal it? Not if Crimevel finds him out first. Goodbye, Zen Jerodon. You had a very nice life. Goodbye.
No, there's no way. Crimevel's gonna be able to catch him in the river. There's even a bard running down. He's gonna not even be able to assist on this one, but now it's PPD love me a little bit of trouble. Just be able to walk out thanks to the extra speed of that Cloud Soul on the map. Out of combat move speed, very powerful on champions like Nautilus and Bard, but ultimately Crimevel's just a presence on the map, and he is miles ahead of this Akali.
Well, I'm not quite sure what you just said there. I have no frame of reference for what that is. But from what I can tell, we do have 14 stacks in that burn book, and we're looking at Crimevel just really stacking up those names. He is the meanest girl in the school right now. When we get 25 in there, game is over. Now, with the gold lead being about 5K, 3 dragon stacks, kill score being 12 to 1 in favor of Degenerates Ascension, is the game basically already over? In an attempt to stay very fair, objective, and respectful, I'm gonna say yes.
I was really ready for you to double down and just drop the no there, but I do want to put this Akali versus LeBlanc into terms you might understand. As now we got the Goonstorm coming through. Just remember, this LeBlanc does a metric ton of damage, and you're going to be careful if you're looking for the gank here, as they got 3 roaming up. Can he fight 1 versus 3? Crimeville, what have you got? You're dashing on out. Managed to dodge out for the shuriken. Dodges away from everything. Double dash with the Mimic. We'll keep him alive for now. Might be able to look back towards this portal. Going to flash as well. Death charge will land. They're going to find the shutdown. Say goodbye to your Medjai's stacks. They pick up Crimeville for the first time this game. But on the other side of the map, they've sent 5 members bottom. What are you doing? Baron's alive. They're going to try and pick this one up, and they got to get back fast. Teleport now coming in from, I believe that is Warboss Justin now coming in. Well, on this Akali, 3,000 HP. No smite available. Might just be able to burst this one down. They'll find it. That's Baron available. But now can they get out? 4 members alive here. Flash forward. Finds the Dredge line onto 1. Pulling him back. Barb will just tunnel on out of here. Paranoia pop. And they'll find the Akali. Vixis on the kill as they continue to kite back. 4 versus 5. Can they do it? Stand United drop. It's the power of friendship he's trying to keep alive. This AD carry. Vixis taking him out finally. And now the damage is finally coming through. Triple kill for Vixis. Not going to find anything else, but they pick up 3 for 3 in that fight, and the Baron, only 1 member. It's the support in Darth Kylo Ryan escaping with that buff. Crimeville, I believe, will not have it. So we've moved into a replay here to break that one down a little bit more.
So we're going to go ahead and see how this fight turns out here. We're looking at a very strong engage flash dredge line here from Fifi. Do you love me? Yes, I do love you for connecting on that anchor, but then you bait the whole squad in. Vixis starts off getting kills. Does get that triple at the very end here. But once this Tristana is just out here just freely hitting on your carries, it is all but over. Vixis comes through, gets another kill here, and honestly, there is not much to really say about that fight other than Degenerates Ascension just looks like a team that's way too far ahead that you really can't honestly get on top of. Yes, you have Tristana, who did some decent damage. I said Tonic has some decent, alright damage in that fight, but when you're sitting in there trying to rocket jump into a Nocturne, a Shin, and Crimvale, I mean, you're not going to have a very, very fun time. Yes, you are 1, 2, and 3 now. You know how to count, but your squad is still 3 times as many kills down. Make sure to say a third of the kills that Degenerates Ascension has. Either way, the numbers do check out.
Ooh, Paranoia being popped. He wants to defend this ward. Dashing on forward here. Now stacking on the jungle. The fear does come through. Akali just gets deleted by Crimville. He'll pick up another solo kill for himself on the side. A little bit of assistance from Nocturne there, but I pretty much call that entirely LeBlanc's damage. Now continuing to push on forward. 5 members strong in the bottom lane. They got the Baron buff as well. Looking to siege down some of these towers. It's finally the recall from Winterfresh. But can you really defend this one against this Baron up squad? Gotta be careful. They still have a few dive tools here with Temporal Fate. Need to walk backwards just a little bit more. Could look to potentially defend at inhib as respawn timers are just coming up now. 8 seconds left on this one. But what are you doing? That just goes too far forward. You have to respect Malice's CC. They'll trade one back. No more stacks for you, they say. That Medjai is useless now, as not a single stack remains. Falling once again here in this match as it's... Can you smell that? Can you smell that? They're setting it up once again here in this bush. Can they find any picks? Zenigma in trouble here to meet the target as he gets insta-bursted. No LeBlanc required. Kai'Sa's got the triple kill. She's got the gold. She's got the damage. Continuing forward here as Aaron gets great ultimate there from the Bard as they continue to push forward. Kitakura, the only one here in trouble. Now looking for the damage onto the Akali to get a perfect execution as the trade coming over to Vixis. Vixis trying to kite out, trying to stay alive because they got to stay united. He'll find the fight. Winterfresh falls as well, and it is a 4-for-1 in a 4 versus 5. That is exactly what you want to see if you're Degenerates as they look down towards the soul.
Degenerates Ascension in a 4v5, getting the advantage in the game. Once again, we're looking at this squad sit here and honestly not need their jungler to take this soul dragon. Now, obviously, he was in the fight there, made a really good move in that bush play. But we're just having a little bit of fun right now. As I mean, look, the kill score is 207 in favor of Degenerates, the 9th place team in our league. By the way, 8K is the gold lead here. I mean, this is just a disgusting display. 5-3 on Winterfresh, played extremely well in the Garen last game. 1-5-3 on this Xin Zhao from Zen Jaredon, played very well last game as well. 2-7-2 for Warboss Justin. I mean, just an absolute I don't know what to call it, honestly. I'll say respectful here. I mean, there's just not much that Zenigma can do in this game. Even when they find themselves with winning fights, they find ways to lose.
Ooh, gonna get rooted up here. Might be able to find the damage inside the Crescent Guard, but VPD11 has arrived. So looking for the CC here. Paranoia will come through. Gonna find the kill. Not just yet. Finally, Zen Jordan does go down in that fight, but at what cost? Now looking to continue this fight. Kitty Akira getting dropped super low. Crimeville forced to flash out as Warboss Justin looking to find the kill with a perfect execution. Bixus finds the Rampage there, picking up the monkey as the Temporal Fate comes out. They're finding every kill. They managed to kite out the fight despite finding the kills, despite all the cooldowns being burned there on that Zenzo to take him down. They find the entire team of Zenigma on the run. Now looking at this top lane turret. Inhib down on the bottom side. This might just be Degenerates looking at the end here as continuing forward. It's Crimeville looking onto Warboss Justin, now looking at the Inhib. They might just be looking to close out this game. Zenzel will respawn. Winterfresh up as well in a few seconds. BPD, you love me. Almost alive here. Stun landing on Warboss Justin under this tower. This is 5 members strong. Be careful. You cannot die here or it will mean the game. Triple Inhib on the horizon here for Degenerates. But they might just have overstayed their welcome. No, they're not going to be finding any kind of counter engage as finally this one will end. And we're going to look at the replay and break down that last fight.
Yeah, as we do go ahead and get in this fight here in the top side of the map, Zen Jaredon is taking these Krugs, having a very fun time. And who's that in the bush? It's Crimvale on the LeBlanc. You are not safe in your own jungle. Almost gets a kill there as the screen does go black. We did see a Paranoia get popped by Kite Akira, which is, I think, very, very fitting for the screen to do what happens. It's a metaphorical representation of what happened in the game. Thank you, J-Dog. You're a poet, honestly, on the keyboard there. But as we do get back into live, we see Fifi Do You Love Me clearing out some vision here, potentially hoping to say, look, as long as they don't come through this bot side jungle here, we can probably get a win here. Not quite. With the real actions in this top side river, Baron is up. There's a lot of vision right here being set up. And with that wave being pushed in the bot side, 2 super minions there, this is going to be the freest Baron you ever seen in your whole life.
Yeah, you like numbers. You might appreciate the statistic. I believe it's 98% of games where triple inhib gets taken turns out to be a victory for the team that took the triple inhib. Degenerates.
98%. What's that in kilometers?
It's about northwest-ish.
Okay, I got you.
So Degenerates in a very strong position here. They've got the Baron, they got double supers in every lane, and it's gonna be a last stand here for Zenigma. Can they hold off what is the impossible push forward from Degenerates? Now underneath these towers, looking at what they can. The depth charge will go towards Bixus as they look to pop the Aegis shield as well, looking to stay nice and healthy. Cromwell brought to below half, might be in danger here as the San United will come through as they go golden, gonna keep him alive for now. No one has fallen just yet in this fight, but it's Andre and Nogito onto the backline, and a massive burst from the Blanc will find a kill. Bixus now picking up one for himself, and these health bars still look so healthy. It will be Degenerates finding the Nexus. Redemption arc complete for Kita Akira as they find game number 3, moving closer and closer. Destiny's still out of their hands, but Degenerates find the win as they look towards that 8th place playoff spot.
Degenerates Ascension. Look, guys, the numbers don't lie. I know you're the 9th place team right now, but when you beat the 3rd place team in the league, you got to get boosted to the 3rd place. The Degenerates Ascension, congratulations. You are now in 3rd place, right behind my guys from the side of CB Clockwork. I know the numbers don't quite support that one, but those are my boys, so I got to show up for those guys. But we had a very, very exciting game here. Very exciting series, Solpin. This was actually a lot better than I expected.
Yeah, I mean, they showed up on the day. Found the objectives, found the fights, had great picks in the draft this game to really make an ease of execution composition for themselves. And once they got Grimvile ahead, man, that guy just carried the game completely. So props to this LeBlanc. Ixis also popping off once he managed to get that triple kill, turning this team comp into a double threat comp. But that's enough analysis for me. We got a whole desk for that. And I'm going to throw it over to Dunzy and Zephyr to break that one down.
Thank you, Mr. Sulpan. I apologize, everyone. I'll try to get the camera back up as soon as I can. But that being said, I'm quite enthralled by the success here, and you can't see it, but I'm pouring myself a delicious, delicious shot to toast the occasion.
I could see it, Zephyr. I can tell the stream and the chat here that I'm witnessing you. You're toasting right now, and I will do a play-by-play. Oh, and down the gullet. There it goes. A full lemon juice shot. In celebration of Degenerates' 2-1
back,
victory
baby.
over Zenigma, they're back. Let's go over some standings real quick. Okay, so we're gonna ignore. Oh, you know what? They've corrected it. I was gonna say we're gonna ignore the loss totals, but it's actually correct here on the standings. That yep, there it is. Lotus White has secured first seed. We know that. Hawkthorn have essentially secured the number 2 seed. I'm pretty sure of that, but there could be some tiebreaker scenarios going on. Now, the rest is where it gets crazy. We're going to focus on the Degenerates because they're our team who have come in and they've 2-1 tonight. They're at 9 wins now, so they're going to be at 9 and 15, 2 back of Classic, and more importantly, unfortunately, they're 4 back of Cape Dogs. Man, is there a way for them to make the playoffs? I'm trying to take a look right now, and I'm doing the quick math, and I think it's
That's
over.
it.
It's over for them. Clockwork are
That
13 and
one
11.
game counted.
Yeah, and Cape Dogs going 3-0 tonight against Divine Ascension have killed the dream. The Degenerate squad, man, to start the game one, it was alive. You had the 4v5 win with Kaitakira trying his damnedest to stay in the game, and oh my goodness, my heart sinks right now for Degenerates because they just took a 2-1 victory off of the number 3 team in Light League, and they've shaken up the roster, and they deserve a shot. Unfortunately, their season comes short. Supports Burden, Divine Ascension, Degenerates, we say goodbye to you in week 8. And it's going to be Classics versus Cape Dogs and Clockwork fighting for the last 2 playoff spots.
This has got to be the saddest result of a series ever. They take a 2-1 victory, but it wasn't enough.
I am so heartbroken.
Degenerates Ascension, we don't deserve you. You played an absolute banger tonight. And here's to next split.
I'm really, really looking forward to at least hearing from Hajime no Gyodo. He is the captain of this Degenerate squad who have so much heart, so much passion, and they came out here and they fought their butts off tonight. He's going to be interviewing with Shellatron and Sulpan in just a moment, man. My heart just goes out to them.
This has got to be the most bittersweet win in Excellency history. They looked so good tonight. This is the Degenerates we've been waiting for. Bixis was on peak performance. He was in the AD carry, coming out of that 3rd game hot on the Kaiser. Crimvale was back, baby, and he performed LeBlanc so good.
Yeah. Dude, the LeBlanc was nuts. I'm sorry. The LeBlanc counter pick was the exact pick that they needed into the Akali. If they had it in game 2, we could be talking about a different story right now. Oh my goodness. A 52-minute win from Cape Dogs in game 1 against Divine Ascension, and then a forfeit in game 3. It is so tough to swallow that pill. But Degenerates, man, you know what? Their org won Light League, the inaugural split of Light League last split, and you know that they're going to be back with a vengeance next league in the fall. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do.
All right. That being said, though, we're going to be passing this one back over to Sulpan, back over to Shells to take it away and finish the night off with an excellent interview here with Hajime no Gildo. So, boys, take it away.